Good morning, everyone. I did mention yesterday about the book of Genesis that we're reading from, and today it starts off by giving us a little bit of a paragraph saying God looked at what he created and he just couldn't believe what man was doing and so forth. And he said, well, I'm just going to shut it all down. This isn't what I've intended it for. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to destroy everything. And then Noah came along, and the Lord said to Noah, well, okay, you can be the next group, and everybody else will get wiped out by the flood, but you've got to make sure you maintain things. And then, interesting, a question that sometimes you might ask yourself: how many animals of each kind did Noah take onto the ark? And we might be inclined to say 2, but if you read the scripture, it says 7 clean animals and 2 unclean animals. In other words, if there were good animals around the place, there were more of them. They were going to breed. Only 2, it was good luck, guys. See how you go. There are also some other numbers that are bounced around that we see at the time. There's the number of 7 that we see, as I've just mentioned. We also see the 40 days that the ark was afloat, 40 days and nights. But those numbers are not meant to be taken literally. They are symbolic, and we need to have an understanding of the context within which they are used, rather than just taking it literally. So let's have a look then at the gospel. This is Mark's Gospel, chapter 8 again, that we were looking at yesterday. And Jesus, you'll remember, was intolerant of the Pharisees yesterday. And so today he says, be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and the yeast of Herod. And that's an interesting symbol. We talk about yeast because it grows and grows and grows. And if something is allowed to fester, something is allowed to brew as a beer would do, or if bread is allowed to expand as the yeast would do. That's something that just happens without us even being aware of it. It just happens. It says, watch out for the Pharisees because they're like yeast and they'll continue to grow, and give the bad example, because they will infest you. And I was chatting to a young man last week, and he was talking about how Catholics would be targets. So Catholics all going to hell apparently, and that we worship Mary, and those other things. But those kind of messages are out there, and young people will get hold of them and believe them. Why? Because the people who are telling them are people who apparently should know better. And we've just got to guard against that and make sure that the right message gets out there, and guard against the Pharisees and the yeast of Herod, even in our day. You have a wonderful day and keep yourself safe. We'll see you. Bye-bye.